Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk to you and pose a couple of questions to you all about the review that we read and will be reading of Richard Wright's that he had written about Their Eyes Were Watching God. And in particular, I really want to ask, so when you're reading this, I'd like for you to please soapstone it and try to identify the rhetorical purpose and the rhetorical situation that Richard Wright was in. So think of when he wrote this, so the 5th of October, 1937, and more particularly is the purpose of the way that he wrote it. Richard Wright, as you may know, was the man who wrote Native Son, which is a bonkers book. And I think it's really important to remember that, I don't know if any of you have read it or have even seen any kind of play adaptation of it. I've seen a couple plays about Native Son, and it is absolutely crushing. So the first thing I'd like for you to do is please read and even read a synopsis of Native Son. We don't have time to actually read it itself. And then go back and do a soapstone analysis of who you believe he's writing to, what his purpose is. And then after you've done that, if y'all could please maybe even record some sort of like a video or some sort of a oral response to the following two questions. The first one is, what is the purpose of identifying, or rather critiquing her text as, this is where I'm going to go ahead and focus on this. Miss Hurston seems to have no desire whatever to move in the direction of serious fiction. If this were written about you, what would you do about this? What does it call to mind? And then a couple other things that I wanted to focus on were really how Richard Wright talks about this and what he decides to italicize. So Miss Hurston can write, but her prose is cloaked in that facile, so simple, simplistic, sensuality that has dogged Negro expression since the days of Phyllis Wheatley. If you all remember, what we're talking about here is in particular one of the fixations, if you can go back to remembering that Vogue cover with LeBron James and what's-her-face, Gisele Bündchen. I can probably pull that up right now, actually. Just a quick reminder to you all about what really is the purpose here. So I think maybe this one might be the cleanest one. So this specific one. So when we're talking about that facile, quote unquote, sensuality, I really want you to remember what we're talking about. So that facile sensuality that has dogged Negro expression since the days of Phyllis Wheatley. As you continue to read, remember that he says, he puts very specific things, words in italics, including voluntarily, in her novel, The Tradition, which is forced upon the Negro in the theater. So they're talking about the minstrel show. And if you could please just record a response, what according to your soapstoning and your research on this, is the purpose and ultimately the effect of this. Okay? Thank you so much.